She said yes. Okay, so her plan was to amputate her right leg. However, they refused after multiple attempts.
God knows, Meghan. God knows. He's got a special place for you right next to that cabinet.
An amputee veteran reached out his hand to Meghan Markle, and what she did next was caught on camera. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. But that's just the beginning of what happened on this trip, because while Meghan was posing for cameras in the Middle East, her own father, who lost part of his leg, has been publicly begging for her attention for years, and she hasn't called him once. So now the question everybody is asking right now is, was this entire tour actually about helping people, or was it something far more calculated? In this video, we're going to show you the moment with the amputee that's making people furious. We're going to reveal the very controversial organization she chose to partner with on this trip and its connections that should have raised serious red flags. And we're going to show you exactly why royal insiders are privately calling this the most embarrassing PR stunt in recent memory. Stay with me, guys, because this story gets darker the deeper you go.
So we're going to expose every cringeworthy, every politically inappropriate moment of this terrible tour on today's show. But first, just look at how much she is faking it, how much she is acting with her faux concern as the amputee is asked to show her leg.
So let's go back to the beginning. Just days ago, Meghan arrived in the Middle East on what was being sold to the public as a humanitarian mission. From the second Harry and Meghan landed, the cameras were constantly on them and rolling, and everything was carefully set. But almost immediately, something fell. Now, in the midst of all of this media frenzy, the cameras almost immediately caught Meghan interacting with a young girl who was missing her right leg. Now, according to reports, this little girl had endured multiple surgeries and multiple attempts to save her limb that ultimately failed. And here's the detail that will stay with you. Her dressings had to be changed regularly. And because the pain was so severe, doctors needed to put her under anesthesia just to do it. But sometimes the anesthesia wasn't available, so they did it anyway. Take a moment to sit with that. This is the child that Meghan Markle just so happened to walk up to in front of a room full of cameras.
She had severe developing injuries to her legs. Adequate treatment. She said yes. Okay.
Now, this was Meghan's moment to show the world who she really is. And she did exactly that, because what people saw, and I want you to watch this carefully, because this was not warmth and it definitely was not genuine. Meghan always making sure the camera is on her. It's all a PR stunt to bring their image and the public up. Meghan checking if the camera eyes are focused on her. Observers who were in that room and thousands of people watching online all use the same word to describe Meghan's reaction. From her body language to her expressions, even the way she engaged with this child who had been through more pain in her short life than most of us will ever know. Like someone hitting their mark on a stage rather than a human being genuinely moved by what was in front of them. And normally, you could give someone the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was nervous, or maybe the cameras made it awkward. But here's where this story takes a turn. Because right now, as Meghan was posing next to an amputee child for the cameras, her own father, Thomas Markle Sr., is in the Philippines, going through the painful, difficult process of being fitted for a prosthetic leg after his left leg got amputated. And according to people close to the family, Meghan has not been in touch with him even once. Not a call or even a message. Nothing. This caused her half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr., to go public with his anger, and he didn't hold back.
You know, my father in the hospital, and why isn't he under the best of care? But, I don't know. Why this, slee stack, shitbag, walks around pretending everything's fine, digging her claws into, chicken boy continuously, right? Because that's the only thing she has left at all is Harry's title. That's all she has left.
Thomas Markle Jr. said that during a time like this, when a family member is facing something this serious, this vulnerable, you show up, because that's what family does. But Meghan hasn't done the same for her family. Now, this is a huge reason for the backlash Meghan has been receiving since her Middle East visit started. According to many people, this is a woman who flew to the Middle East to be photographed, showing compassion for a child with an amputated leg, while her own father sits alone in the Philippines, going through that exact same process, waiting for her to pick up the phone. That is not a coincidence. It's a pattern. But as tone deaf as that is, what happened when she actually arrived at the first official event makes this so much worse. Because Meghan didn't just fail to show up for her family, she showed up for herself, very publicly, and she made sure everyone knew it. When the delegation arrived in Jordan, there was a moment that quietly set the tone for the entire trip. Prince Harry, an actual member of the British royal family, was approaching Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the World Health Organization, a significant introduction. It was supposed to be a diplomatic moment. However, Meghan pushed past him to get there first. I'll say that again, she physically moved past her own husband to insert herself into that introduction.
For Meghan to greet the Director General of the World Health Organization before Harry. Harry's father is the only reason they're there at all. Without his father, she's nothing in this world, and proves why they can't welcome Harry back into the family. Meghan still has zero respect for her husband and protocol. And she also has zero respect for people who are trying to do their job. I mean, look at how she showed her true feelings when the mask came off with the translator.
For example, versus the keyboard, how do you know which one is the right fit?
That's the real Meghan, isn't it?
Now, if you know anything about royal protocol, and the other people in that room absolutely did, you'd understand why jaws dropped. There is an established order to these things. It exists for a reason, and it is not something you casually override because you want to be first in the frame. But Meghan didn't stop there. At a World Health Organization event, an event that Prince Harry was attending as a representative, Meghan took the microphone, and the camera caught something that no PR team can spin: Prince Harry's face. He looked, by multiple accounts, visibly uncomfortable and caught off guard.
Efforts, I look forward to continued conversation, especially with Dr. Tedros, about how when funding does come in, it feels ring-fenced, to be able to liberate that.
Now that's the kind of expression you see on someone who wasn't told this was going to happen. And the people watching, both in that room and online, all arrived at the same conclusion. This wasn't about the humanitarian mission anymore. This was about content. This was about the Meghan Markle brand. Which brings us to the part of this story that nobody in the mainstream press wants to talk about. You see, while Meghan was taking center stage at WHO events and Harry was standing there looking like a spare part at his own appearance back in Britain, Prince William was watching all of this very, very closely. And according to a source speaking to News Nation, he was not just annoyed, he was furious. And once you understand why, this entire trip looks completely different. Remember back to 2020 when the infamous Megxit happened. The story was that Harry and Meghan were stepping back from royal duties and they would no longer be representing the crown, meaning no more official engagements, no more trading on the institution they had just spent 2 years publicly dismantling. The agreement was simple. So why then, if they were out of the royal life, what exactly was the purpose of this trip? Because this wasn't like their previous trip to Nigeria or Colombia, where Harry and Meghan showed up, had a good time, danced with locals, and nobody particularly objected. This trip was specifically framed as a humanitarian mission, an official-looking, cause-driven, globally covered visit, the kind that looks to the outside world almost exactly like a royal tour. And that, according to sources close to the palace, is precisely the problem. They chose to leave. They cannot choose to keep the benefits of staying. You don't get to have it both ways, and the people around William are making sure that message is being heard loud and clear. But here's where it gets really uncomfortable. According to reports, William is watching the Andrew situation, and he is taking notes, because Prince Andrew was a royal who operated outside the rules, who created confusion about his role, his affiliations, and his conduct, and became an embarrassment that the institution could not contain and ultimately not protect. For William, that is not just just a cautionary tale. According to those close to him, it is a blueprint for what he will not allow to happen again, even from Harry and Meghan. According to palace insiders, the leeway Harry and Meghan currently enjoy, it exists on borrowed time. And the moment William is king, that window closes permanently. So enjoy the tours, enjoy the microphone moments, enjoy the WHO speeches, because the people around William are not forgetting any of this. They are filing it away. Now, I want to know what you think, because this story is far from over. Do you think this trip was genuine humanitarian work, or was it exactly what it looked like? And do you think the royal family needs to finally draw a hard line on the Sussex name being used this way? Drop it in the comments below. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with someone who follows the royal family, because the mainstream press is not covering this Meghan angle, and it needs to be talked about. And if you're new here, welcome. This is what we do. We go deeper than the headlines. I'll see you in the next one.